survivors of residential schools as well as their families and communities. ISAF is a testament to the collective efforts of a community that believes in the power of South Asian narratives. Our theme this year is Crossroads, to celebrate South Asian cinema and culture as a hub and a place where many roads intersect. Special mention to our platinum sponsor RBC, gold sponsors Admi Group, Allure, Creative BC, Canada Media Fund, Telefilm, Kwantlen Polytechnic, City of Surrey, and Warner Brothers Discovery Access Canada. As I mentioned, we are here for the screening of the feature film of Shoaib Sultan's Gunjal. Before Gunjal, we will also be screening a lovely film that premiered earlier this year at Tribeca called Lice by director Vidya Gupta. Unfortunately, Vidya was not able to join us today, but we're excited for you to see her work and celebrate it. And before the screening of the feature, I'd like to invite our partner on the screening, the Pakistani Canadian Women's Association founder, Dr. Babra Rana.
I wasn't actually planning to do a speech or even say anything, but then I thought, no, I should say thank you to everyone who is here. Anyway, I just want to briefly introduce the Pakistani Canadian Women's Society. We started this society in 2010, and since then we have done a lot of work around education, awareness. We provided a platform to the women that if they are having any issues at all, they can come to us. We also gave them the platform to talk about their issues. Just a week ago, we had an educational event where we talk about financial dependence of women and also violence against women. So we have done a lot of work like that. So when we got involved with, it was before Vancouver South Asian Film Festival, now it is ISAF. So when we got involved with them, the purpose was that film is a media which can show issues in a way that people can relate to it, and it creates a lot of awareness. So because of that, we decided to get involved. And then we collaborated with Mahnoor and her team for the last 10 years. And I can see it growing. It's just amazing the way we started and the way it is now. It has grown bigger and bigger. It has become more organized. This year you guys have 70 movies that you are showing. So they are showing 70 movies from different countries. And they are bringing movies which has meaning, which create awareness. So it is great. So I really want to thank Mahnoor and her team for great work that they are doing. And I also want to thank the Pakistani community because every year they show up here. You know, we always have the house full for our movies, and it is because of you guys that we are able, like the Pakistani Canadian Women's Society is able to have a platform for our movies. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Babra. I'd also like to invite Shoaib Sultan down to invite everybody and welcome everyone if you would like to say a few words.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank you all for coming here and joining us for the screening of Gunjal. First of all, it's a huge honor and privilege to be part of ISAF. The team is just fabulous, amazing. The way they treated us, that they welcome us with the open hearts and open arms. We are learning a lot. There are a lot of interactive sessions, workshops, which generally don't happen in various festivals. Generally, most of the time we saw screenings and screenings and screenings, but here we are learning and bonding with the community and of course with a lot of filmmakers and peers. Thank you very much, Mahnoor, Priyanka, Pulkit and all the team members for putting up a great show, and I hope it will grow more and more. And thank you very much, Babra ji, with the obviously Pakistan Canadian Women Association, who is really supporting us, and all of you for coming today and watching our labor of love. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shoaib. Following the screening, please stay for a discussion with Shoaib and members of his team, moderated by ISAF board member and filmmaker Kashif Pasa. Now, ISAF is proud to present Gunjal.
A lot of chairs here because we're really, really lucky today. We have a lot of the team from Gunjal here joining us today, which is incredible. And now we have enough chairs for them, so maybe we'll just get started. Yeah, he's ready. So my name is Kashif Pasta. I'm a writer-director from Surrey, BC as well. I'm on the board of ISAF. Really honored to be here and be hosting this conversation with the incredible team of Gunjal. We have here the director, Shoaib Sultan. Our producer, Nighat Akbar Shah. Cinematographer, Ikram Khan. And Mahnoor Zaibdi, our script supervisor. And Mahnoor is also a producer of a short that's playing at the festival as well, if I'm correct. Which is directed by Kamil Chima, who produced La Kabooter, which also had Ahmed Ali Akbar. So it's like it's a nice example of the Pakistani film industry being very interconnected in these last few years and coming up with incredible work like this film. So congratulations to you all for achieving such a huge project and in a way that is so engaging and clearly captures us all. I kind of want to start at the beginning here and understand how you all met each other, whose idea was the story at first, and how you all connected, because I know you also work in similar areas as the topics of the film in your day-to-day life as well. So yeah, sure.
First of all, thank you very much. Actually, me and Nighat worked on a short film together earlier, and then we decided, and after the great reception of that short film, which was based on Chitral, Pakistan, about mental health and suicide, which was also a very important topic to talk about. And that has a very great reception among the festivals, and then we decided that we should work on something else. And my whole career is also with respect to theatre. I'm talking about some really serious social issues, and Nighat being a humanitarian, so she also decided that she should come up with a topic which is very close to her heart about child labor. And then we came across with a story, and earlier it was like that we were just want to tell the story of Iqbal Masih, his journey, but when we start researching about the subject, it was a very extensively research-based project. We took 6 months to, I personally met actually each and every character you saw in the film personally, and we interviewed them. We get the information that there's a lot of layers, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of information which is still not available in public domain. So it's our responsibility as a filmmaker to project information as well as to celebrate a hero, which is Pakistani from minority, and it's a very important subject and need to be told. So that's why it's initiated.
Right on. Nighat, your background is in education and business management, and you've got TED Talks and this kind of powerhouse producer, but you also come from all these other areas, and so I was really curious, I know, of course, as a writer-director, I know why film is important and how it gets stories out there, but what led you to enter film and take on all the messiness and craziness of that side of things?
Thank you so much, Kashif, for the question. I love this. And thank you so much all for coming here and supporting our indie film. It means a lot to us. Thank you all. A big round of applause for yourself. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. So coming back to your question, Kashif, I wasn't a film enthusiast or a film student to begin with. I'm a real estate developer with my husband, and he's my biggest support. But the thing is, I'm a humanitarian, like Shoaib put it. I try to go where I can solve the problem. So there was this problem in my hometown of Chitral that we were seeing some suicide trends, going up and up. So I decided to raise awareness for that. So then film medium came to my mind. So I reached out to Shoaib, so we end up making this short film about mental health and suicide prevention. But seeing the success of that, we were able to create a discourse around mental health. So I was encouraged to take on another subject that was closer to my heart. As a mother, I cannot think about a mother sending her child or let alone selling her child to like in a bonded labor. So that's why this topic is very closer to my heart. So I chose this subject and self-funded it. So I can, at the end of the day, I can say I put my money where my mouth is. So that's how we end up making Gunjal.
Wow, yeah, sometimes it takes that.
Thank you.
I was curious, like, I mean, of course the journalists in the film talk about, you know, the risks to their own careers, the risks to their own lives, and for yourselves pursuing a topic like this, like, was it still scary in that regard of not wanting to step on certain toes? And is it still, I mean, it's been quite a few years since the time we're looking at, but is it still a bit risky to be talking about this?
The child labor? Oh, I mean, the thing is, child labor has not gone away from the world, let alone Pakistan. Even in United States, I can talk about that because I live in the South, in Memphis. So next to our state is Arkansas. Because in Arkansas, we have some child labor laws that it's actually when you can be a 13-year-old child and go to an employer and say that you are 16 years old. Now the laws are not mandated that the employer need to ID you. It's like legalizing child labor. So it's very scary when that happens in United States or in Canada or in UK, then it happens in a third world or a developing country. So yeah, we are regressing in a way. Mm-hmm.
Ikram, cinematography, incredible job on this film. There's a lot of volume of work. Yes. Now the director of me just kind of wants to talk about the logistics of shooting this volume in Lahore and all that, but from more of an artistic point of view, I really wanted to talk about your use of light in the film. I mean, there's, you know, the beginning, we're day for night, we're in this kind of like barely able to see things, but still able to see things, so congratulations. And you know, right through to the end where we're walking into the light, and throughout the film, our night times look very different from each other. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about that sense of like how you thought about light throughout the film, and also just pulling it off in Lahore.
Yeah, so we did some day for nights, as you mentioned as well. And other than that, rest of everything was shot in the night. And basically it was Shoaib's vision, which as a cinematographer I had to carry throughout the whole film. And in the lighting, as Nighat also mentioned, that it was an indie film, so it wasn't like we have like a lot of lights or a lot of equipment. So we had to make do of what we had. And also because we were shooting, like I think right now the film you see, like exact this amount of film is not here because our first cut was 4.5 hours. So we shot a lot, like in the 40 days, and there wasn't like a very big margin to, you know, like experiment with lighting and all of that. So I had to really go with like a set thing in my mind that I will light this in a way that I will be able to do most coverage for scenes as well. So yeah, it was a lengthy and great experience.
It didn't feel limited, so that, well done there. It didn't feel. It felt like there was really efficient use of like certain sets, and I don't know how much was outdoors, how much was built, like that area outside his apartment and the phone booth. Was that a built area?
That whole thing was made. Yeah.
Actually, I would like to tell that obviously Lahore has been changed a lot especially during the last 10 years and
yes,
before
period
that.
piece as well.
So it's to find the right location. I'm not calling it sets because I'm calling it setups, because we choose the original locations and then we just set it up with different things, and maybe the Shahbaz house was, for example, room was original location, but in front of it the dhaba was like obviously it was made. So then we make the combinations of things like that to make it effective and the relatable of keeping that era that in my mind. But it was an extensive task because we were shooting it was all original locations. 90% was original locations. It's a sync sound. In Pakistan generally we don't have sync sound. Hardly films have sync sounds, and we have to do the dubbing. So we try to make it understand that it has to be achieved in a way. So that's was
I don't know how you did that, because I've never been to Lahore, but I know Karachi doing sync sound. I don't know how I would do it. So that's impressive. And Ikram, part of what I wanted to ask about is the period nature of the film and how you thought about making it feel like 95, 97.
So what we discussed earlier with Shoaib was that we will use like one big light source and then add rest of the practicals with that. And other than that, with like period piece, it was very difficult to shoot in locations as well because like there were some poles, there was like even the roads are different now.
Ads
Even
and
the
signs
like
and
yeah,
logos.
everything was so. I had to, if you have noticed or not, I had to use like I couldn't shoot very wide. So that's why also the film is very, at places it's very closed up with the characters as well. So yeah, that's
Yeah, I just realized I wasn't even thinking about cars and things like that you have to
yeah,
avoid.
everything,
And
yeah.
yeah, Mahnoor, hello. So Mahnoor is script supervisor on this film. Before asking a question, I know a lot of people might not be familiar with what a script supervisor does. So I wanted to get a little bit of sense of that and what you did on the film.
So, thank you, firstly, for everybody for being here. A script supervisor mainly looks at the continuity of the film because everything is being shot not in a it's being shot here and there with different times and schedules. So the script supervisor has really kind of has to, and especially with a film like this where it's really going back and forth, I just have to kind of make sure that everything which is in the script, whatever Shoaib's vision is, it is done according to that. And everything which is planned beforehand happens. So anything which is kind of, if anybody misses something out, I'm there to kind of remind that, this is how it was planned, so this is how it needs to be. So yeah, that's mainly what the script supervisor does.
Yeah, that kind of leads into what I wanted to talk about because this film is not fully linear, right? It's jumping back and forth and all around, and you're also not shooting in that order. So partially just how do you keep track of all that, but specifically, I guess, was there one particular day or one particular thing that really was like the thing that you just couldn't handle? Because I'm thinking about like there's newspaper headlines, there's this and that, but sometimes it's like a small thing that maybe the audience doesn't think about. That's like
I think it was everything. Every day was a challenge because there was so much back and forth, and we were, of course, because shooting is not linear as well, and especially when a film is going back and forth as well, and it's a period piece, and you really kind of have to make everything in line. Literally, I would be fixing the tables, I would be fixing clothes, and thankfully enough, not every director kind of gives that space for a script supervisor to kind of really give their input. But since a script supervisor is on the monitor, and so Shoaib really gave me that space to kind of give input at every level. So I'm really grateful for that because I've worked on other films as well as a script supervisor, and I can just say that people don't really give that space. But every day was a challenge, so it was a tough one.
Shoaib and Nighat, the original story that this is based on of Ikram, it's clearly a really dark, deep tragedy. And you made a film that takes it very seriously, but it doesn't play exactly like a tragedy, right? There's that sense of maybe a little bit of hope and just the way that it's framed, it's fully engaging, right? It's not that you just know that it's going to be a linear process. And so how did you come to that version of telling, or this version of telling the story through the journalist and the format of it all?
Initially, as I'm saying that I was part of the writing team as well, co-written with other two amazing writers. So what we did that first of all, it was a research process. It was a very extensive research process. We read books, whatever written on Iqbal. We got the original newspapers, FIRs, what happened. We even met the police wala who actually was a part of the process during when the murder was there in the court. So we met each and every one, and then we start writing it in a linear format. At first, we write the journey of Iqbal Masih, which is we are telling Irfan Masih. And then we decided that this should not be a bit drier as a storyteller. It has to be engaging, it has to be entertaining as well at the same time. So we decided that there should be a tool. Through a tool, we should tell this story. And when that we created this world of this newspaper world, because in the 90s, especially in Pakistan, the newspaper world at its boom, because everyone was telling the different kind of narrative. Every newspaper has a different vision toward the same story. So we decided that it will be told through Shahbaz Bhatti, our main protagonist. And honestly speaking, there's a one minute thing. We did not glorify the Christianity or the religion in this perspective, but we decided that we don't want to show a white man savior to the black or black savior to the white. So we decided, it was very conscious decision, that Shahbaz Bhatti should be from the same community. He should be also Christian, and writing the story and telling the story of Iqbal Masih, which is very important for us. So we devised in that way, and then of course, as you see that there is no, we deliberate, don't want to give a conclusion. We want you to decide, you think about it, because till date, no one knows that actually what happened, who did it, and it was not like the person who did it was gone out very easily, and then these all narratives were told to us by the real people. So the fictional world is obviously around Shahbaz Bhatti and the newspaper world. The remaining all portions are real actually.
Yeah, there's almost a movie about making the research of the movie itself as well. Nighat, for your part as a producer, oftentimes when you're creating a film, a big part of it is thinking about who the audience is going to be, what perspective you want to tell a story from. And so there's a version of this film that could have been a lot like the journalism that was being done at the time. It's very much for the outside world, or for a global audience. And this feels like it's, more specifically for, and correct me if I'm wrong, feels like it's focused in on a Pakistani audience or international Pakistani audience. And so what factored into that decision, or what led to that?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Thank you so much. Actually, we wanted to make this film for Pakistani audience, and also at the end of the day, we wanted to take Pakistani content worldwide. So in a way, we always say that in Pakistan, people don't watch these type of film. So this is a first step of creating our audience, kind of to watch these type of sophisticated content. So yes, we didn't want to glorify anything that is too negative. And also, we have a proof of that through some of the critics. They said, thank God, it's a breath of fresh air that the filmmakers are not trying to glorify on what has gone wrong in this case. We are trying to tell a story. We are trying to be good storytellers. And also, this film is highlighting or celebrating a Pakistani hero, Iqbal Masih. He was a minority, fine. He was a child labor activist. So he's a hero, and he received the Pakistan's most highest civilian award, of course, a couple of years ago, posthumously. So we also wanted to highlight that type of content coming out of Pakistan, that as a Pakistani, we like to celebrate our heroes. So that was the main thing.
Well, we're at time as well. How are we?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. 2 minutes plus audience Q&A, or 2 minutes?
I'm gonna start it now.
Okay, I had a cool question I wanted to ask, but okay, fine. I'll open it up to audience questions, and if no one has one, then I'll ask my cool other question. Yes, there.
First of all, thank you very much for highlighting the story of Iqbal Masih, because I've been we have seen a lot of movies from Hindi cinema, such as Tangled, such as Very Common, and I always wanted somebody to come from Pakistan. So I want to thank you, everyone, all the team for the part here. So can we expect going forward that that you will be also taking up the other heroes as well from the minority from within Pakistan, that you see more movies?
The question, I'll just repeat for the video, is do you intend to make more films about other Pakistani heroes?
For you, of course.
For the director.
Both of you.
Okay.
It's a joint effort, so it's not a team effort.
Thank you so much. And seeing all of you, I'm encouraged to take on another subject, but I have to sell this film and see if this film is giving me some money.
A couple more buildings to build before.
Yes, as a producer, I don't want to keep on putting my pocket money every time. So my husband is going to say, find your own home.
Is he here right
I don't
now?
want that. Yeah, there are some projects in the pipeline. but they are also social justice documentaries. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not a question, it's a comment. Why you guys are saying he's a hero? After watching this film, I feel like this Akbar Masih was a victim. He wasn't a hero. He was, yes, he had courage, enough courage to stand up for his rights, and then he was not able to continue whatever he was supposed to do. So his journey was cut short. बहुत जल्दी उसकी जर्नी खत्म हो गई. So why everybody is calling him a hero? He was just a poor victim.
The question is what makes Iqbal Masih a hero when his journey was cut short?
So, it's a good thought. I also think the same way. He's a victim, and he was a victim, and there are so many similar children who are also victim. But he's a hero for us because he rose against all odds, right? He came out of his situation. He joined an organization. He worked hard for other children. He was murdered tragically. That makes him a victim. That's why we are also highlighting his murder and his tragic life. And at the same time, he's a hero in Pakistan. We have to celebrate him as a hero and as a victim. And aren't all heroes are victims? That's
Can I ask a question? This was a very powerful film. बहुत अच्छा लगा कि पाकिस्तान में ऐसी फिल्में बनती हैं. डॉक्टर बाबरा राना और ऐसा का मशहूर हूँ. आप लोग बहुत इंटेंसिव रिसर्च से गुजरे हैं. तो जहाँ आपने इस गुंजल की कुछ नोट्स सुलझाई हैं, कुछ डाल भी दिए हैं. तो क्या आप इस नतीजे पे पहुँचे कि who was the responsible of the murder of Iqbal Masih?
The question is, in your research, did you ever come to a conclusion of who caused
So,
the murder?
I already said this earlier as well, that actually whatever we showed in the film, it's exactly same. As a researcher, when we were researching, and we were also thinking that, okay, they are the two eyewitnesses we met, the two have the different versions of the same incident. And the carpet mafia, through the articles, they are coming up with a different version of their own thing. Then OBLR, which you were showing, it's a different organization name. We met the head of she's the woman who is heading up right now, we shown him as a mayor. I met her and I interviewed her, and then she said, tell the same stories to me. So we are also getting confused that actually who did it and how it happened, and who is the right, who is wrong. We cannot able to figure it out. But it's a sad story, unfortunate. There's a system which we think that we should tell, that there's somewhere injustice which no one able to handle that injustice, or come up with a solution, or come up with the idea that who did it and how it happened. So till now this is an open shut case, so which is very sad. And that we also, our objective with this film obviously to tell the right thing. We're not taking sides of any of the version, that we don't want, because we don't have that right to say anything, or we are not supporting any certain agenda or any certain side of the version. So obviously we want to tell a story in a way that the way during research we perceived, we encountered, and we believe that this story should be told in the same fashion, so that people should understand and make a realization that, okay, so something happened, and till date we did not able to find, and it's sad, and it's very, very sad. And we should try to make a change as an individual. As we the ending is, we would like to give a hope, because we strongly believe that whatever is happening around you, sometimes we always like blame institutes or government or people around us, but as an individual, if we can contribute something, so we should keep on doing. That's very important, that as an individual, wherever you are, in which capacity you are, you should keep on trying hard to make a certain change. Thank you.
I'm just curious, how many people in the audience are filmmakers or actors or writers or in the industry in some way? I see some people not putting their hands up there. So I was just curious, as just to wrap up, actually a question for all of you, but especially Shoaib and Nighat, in terms of, like, you both, or all of you, but definitely the two of you, have entire careers outside of film as well. And for a lot of us who are in film, or whether it's writers, directors, actors, like, just trying to make life work and then still make some art at the same time is its own challenge. So really just wanted to get a sense of, how do you navigate that? Because you've done it well. You did it, you have your full life, and you made incredible cinema. So How do you do it? And
Yeah,
how do we do it?
it's really a challenge.
Is it possible?
I think all filmmakers or creative people are going through that challenge. By profession, by the way, I'm an electrical engineer and into project management field for more than 20 years. And this is my passion. I keep on pursuing it. I did theater for more than 15 years and then made some short films, one with Nighat, amazingly done. And then this thing happened. I think I manifested it always that I tell everyone that this is my 30 years dream. From last 30 years, I'm manifesting it that one day that will come where I will make a feature film, and it happened. I'm not a trained filmmaker. I never go to any film school, so it's just from people like you all. I keep on watching different kind of cinema, and you guys keep on inspiring people like me and people like Nighat who encourage me to make this happen. So thank you very much, Nighat, and everyone around me who make this festival, this film happen. And this festival, the ISAF, is a great opportunity to showcase my talent. So thank you very much.
Same question?
Yeah.
Okay, but so I have a strict deadline. Like in a few months' time, I have to go back to work properly in real estate. Otherwise, I will be fired. So that's how I'm navigating. Yes. So my boss is sitting there. So.
Ikram, did you?
This is the only thing I know how to do, and this is the only thing that I do. So I don't have any other life than this. And what I wanted to add to Shoaib Saab is that Gunjal was Shoaib Saab's film school. And we were all a part of it.
It's a loaded scene.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I do this full time, and so
You're a producer as well, though, right? Because you
I
produce
produce and I direct as well.
Yeah.
So last year I had a film in this festival which I directed, and luckily this time I have 2 films. So yeah, I do run a few businesses with my family, but this is love, this is passion. So all my heart is just entirely in films.
Well, with love, passion, it's possible to make an incredible film, and you all did it. And thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you.